Well, good morning all. We're going to discuss about opening your own school. When I talk about opening your own preschool, I mean to say you have possibility to start your own school. You can also look at options of franchising. So we will be discussing about both the options. So let me share with you with whom are you discussing and who you must be wondering who is this gentleman. Let me talk about myself. My name is Vinay Joshi and I'm the founder director of Innovera Educare Private Limited. I've got 25 years of corporate experience, and apart from 25 years of experience, I'm also on board member of a couple of companies. It's been half of my experience coming in from education sector. That's sheer out of passion that we started with a preschool in 2010. And now we've got 7 branches of preschool and 1 CBSE high school with the name of Innovera. My strong belief or principles of business, if we keep our things as simple as possible, हमारे लिए बड़ा आसान हो जाता है. Business should be very simple. It should not be very complicated. बहुत सारी governance, compliances in the initial stages नहीं रहे तो वो थोड़ा आसान हो जाता है. Very, very important. Business is meant for profit. अगर हम profit नहीं बना सकते हो business में तो business में enter नहीं करना है. Third is, it should always have a demand. Seasonal demand रहेगी तो challenge हो सकता है. So it should always be into demand. You don't have to create a demand. Okay. With this, we actually worked upon it, and that's how we started with the preschool in 2010. We started with 2014 as a CBSE high school. Along with CBSE high school, we also, I'm sorry, there's somebody who's coming in, I believe. Let me just take them in. Yeah. So with the price with preschools, post that we also started with financial literacy courses. So we also run a brand named Vice Chanakya, which is into teaching children financial literacy and mostly into the education domain. That's what we're working on. Now let's talk about the sector and the national education policy. This sector is basically very, very unorganized. Absolutely unorganized. The reason is it was never been recognized by the government also. It has very less compliances. But the best part is it has got huge potential. The simple reason is scientifically it is proven that till the age of 8, maximum brain development happens. That is 50% of the brain development happened till the age of 8. So a lot of developmental possibilities are there, as well as India is a country wherein population is not a problem. This basically caters to an age group between 1.5 to 5.5. There are 3 segments in this sector. One is a high ticket sector. Now, classification of high ticket is very subjective. Let me just put it with my perspective that I put it. Somebody can say our high ticket is above 1 lakh rupees. Somebody can say high ticket is above 50,000 also. But then I've just tried and categorized it. Anything which is above 60,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees a month goes into a high ticket. Then there's a pocket friendly, which is anything between 25 to 40. And then for masses, it is completely 20K. The biggest challenge in this industry is happening in masses. The quality of education is lacking in masses. People don't make money in pocket friendly because they want to give quality of high ticket, but they are not able to. And when they go for franchise, it eats up to a lot of profitability of theirs. So people who open that pocket friendly sector, they also don't make too much of profit in this. And over a period of 12 years, we realized that preschool is something which is a very, very profitable venture. However, since people do not understand how to manage it, they make some mistakes. So that is what I'm going to share with you in some time, that what are the mistakes that people make. Let's understand what is this new education policy. I'm not going to go into details of new education policy, but I'm just going to share with you iske advantages kya hai. Government has made it compulsory. It has come into gamut of government ki acha bhai nursery ke baad mein bhi education zaruri hai, nursery se first ke bhi pehle education zaruri hai. So they've started recognizing it. They're making it mandatory. Now while they're making it mandatory, iske साथ साथ में वो धीरे धीरे उनके rules and regulations लेके आएंगे. But अभी तक कोई भी state ने कोई भी norms के ऊपर काम नहीं किया है. NEP has come in 2020, but no state government has really worked. The biggest challenge will be in the unorganized sector. because unorganized sector will not be able to adapt to a lot of changes, wherein organized sector will have a lot of backing. It will have technological backing, it will have training backing, it will also have structured curriculum and competency mapping. So a lot of technological investments with the organized sector would be doing it. This will help the entire industry to make it more organized. The biggest advantage with national education policy will be that it will come under a proper screening. Nobody can run a preschool just the way he or she wants to run it. So that is where a lot of advantage would come in. Now let's understand why preschools fail. There are especially these 12 reasons which are very, very important. I'm going to be spending some amount of time on this particular slide for you all to understand. The first and foremost thing is people open preschool in wrong location. They go with a lot of emotional call. कि अरे मेरा एक ये जगह पे घर है and I want to open a preschool, and he would open it. But what is very, very important is the convenience. You have to see the safety, because preschool is something which is very, very closely associated with safety. So one is safety that you have to see. Second, you also have to see what is important, the population. If the population is not there, then again there is a challenge. Convenience. For people to commute, there has to be convenience. If it is too inconvenient or a lot of traffic, probably people may not like to. So location is something which is important. The most ideal location is residential or a commercial space which is very close to residential. So that's one. That's, I would say, if I have to rate these four parameters, that is wrong location, poor quality, lack of hygiene, and lack of professional approach, I would rate them less than 5 on a scale of 1 to 10. But very, very important is undue expenses. लोग preschool जब खोलते हैं, so मेरा personal मानना यह है, पिछले 12 साल के experience है और कई हजारों बच्चों के साथ में काम करके, you have to be emotional towards the kids, the children, but don't be emotional towards the business. हम business में इतने emotional हो जाते हैं कि हम उसमें undue expenses कर देते हैं, which is not going to give us revenue. वहां पे हम खर्चा कर देते हैं. और I have observed so many preschools shutting down just because of unplanned expenses, since they feel that this will work, and it's a completely emotional call. So you have to be very, very clear in where you have to spend and where you don't have to spend. The third reason is poor quality. A lot of people feel that क्या एक टीचर ही तो रखना है, वो टीचर को रख लेंगे तो काम हो जाएगा, and then they do not actually work on the quality of education. Another thing is hygiene. We have to be very, very careful, and these are certain things which we have to teach children from the beginning. But a lot of preschool people miss on hygiene part. They do not probably hire a person who's taking care of the premises properly, and then they think that they take things for granted, and that is where they start losing admissions. The most important parameter, I would say 1 out of 10, में से 9 या 10 is high rentals. Again, taking an emotional call, मुझे ये बंगलो बहुत अच्छा लगा है, मैं हायर रेंटल वाला ले लेता हूँ. उसका एक लॉजिक है, उसका एक प्रिंसिपल है. Do not break that principle. If you break that principle, you're going to lose. I will be sharing with you that principle in the next slide. Okay, very, very important principle. कि higher rental should not be there. Then what is the adequate rental? Adequate rental is in the next slide. So I'll come to that. The second very important thing is terms and condition. People take on a rental and they would say, okay, fine, मुझे rent पे मिल गया है, हर साल 10% escalation चल जाएगा. हर या 11 महीने का एग्रीमेंट करेंगे, उसके 11 महीने बाद वापस उसके साथ में बैठ के रिन्यू करेंगे. लैंडलॉर्ड क्या करता है, वो देखता है कि अच्छा इसका बिजनेस अच्छा चल रहा है, वो फिर सडनली उसका रेंट बढ़ा देगा और आपके लिए कोई चॉइस नहीं रहेगा, या तो आप वो ज्यादा रेंट दें, नहीं तो आपको दूसरी जगह मूव करना पड़ेगा. एंड दूसरी जगह मूव करने के लिए यू डोंट नो वेदर सेम लोकेलिटी में इतना आसानी से मिलेगा नहीं मिलेगा. So the most important thing and the best thing is आप जितना लंबे समय के लिए उनके साथ agreement कर सके, your consistency can help you. And terms and condition. टर्म्स एंड कंडीशन में बहुत सारी चीजें हैं. आपको ये मालूम होना चाहिए कि आप जब बात कर रहे हैं तो लैंडलॉर्ड से आपको क्या क्या चीजें क्लियर करके लेनी है कि भाई हम ये टाइम पे यूज करेंगे, हमारे इतनी गाड़ियां आएगी, ऐसे बहुत सारे पैरामीटर्स हैं. उसमें क्लैरिटी आप रख लेंगे तो आपके फ्रिक्शन नहीं होंगे लैंडलॉर्ड के साथ. एंड द बेस्ट पार्ट इज अगर आपका खुद का प्रीमाइसेस है तो नथिंग लाइक इट. यू रियली यू आर इनटू सेफ जोन एंड यू टेक द एडवांटेज कि आपको रेंट नहीं पे करना है. दैट इज योर प्रॉफिट. Many times people feel that let me hire more staff and admissions will come, or I will have a very good thing, or let me hire very expensive people. Not required. Adequate people and adequate staff is very, very important. Like people first will hire center head and other thing. अगर आप आपका खुद का एक नया business start कर रहे हैं, so the first and foremost and important thing is you should be having your own, you should become a center head. पहले एक 7500 बच्चों तक आपने आप खुद ने मैनेज करना है, so that you understand the business and you work as a center. If you do not have a time and then you're starting up, then it really makes sense. If you're already into business and then you are starting, then it makes sense because you're replacing somebody. So then it makes sense. Then last thing and one of the most important thing is lack of marketing. हर एक इंसान को ये लगता है कि प्री स्कूल मैंने ओपन कर दिया तो लाइन लग जाएगी, लोग आने लग जाएंगे. नो, this continuous marketing which is required. You have to keep on talking to people. A lot of promotional activities needs to be done, engagement events needs to be done, freebies to be distributed, Facebook marketing, engagement initiatives, certain workshops to be organized. You have to keep on developing your infrastructure and put it on loudspeaker and share to the world that we have added CCTV camera. Now we've added live CCTV camera. We've added certain more furniture. We've added interactive screens. Whatever you keep on adding, this needs to be communicated and spoken out to people. Many a times there is a small line between confidence and overconfidence, and we cross that line. And we forget that parent is always a customer, so you have to respect it. And we get into a little arrogance. I've observed a lot of preschool people getting into arrogance. Customers do not expect arrogance. So you have to have that part. Secondly, it shouldn't happen that your teacher is teaching and you're suddenly calling up, dekh lo jara inquiry aayi hai unko. So the teacher is leaving aside the children and she's handling the inquiry. So these are small professional things. When an inquiry is coming, how well are you addressing it is also very good. That talks about what the kind of delivery you're going to do. It is the experience that matters a lot. We think that we've hired team, and when we hire a team, we've trained them for a couple of days. Now they'll do everything. It's a continuous training program. And as a standalone preschool, it really becomes very, very difficult because it's a very expensive affair. You have to call one-time trainer, you may have to pay 5,000 to 10,000 rupees for training. Or you have to send your staff for training. Every training would cost anything between 2,000 to 5,000 rupees. So it's a very high cost for developing staff. The best part here is hire a staff which is probably graduate, may not be experienced, but take a franchisee and then a franchisee trains. So the cost really reduces to a large extent. We'll talk all those things in the next slide. A lot of time we feel that मैं कुछ हटके दे दूं, जो बाकी preschool नहीं दे रही है मैं कुछ अलग दे दूं, और experiment करने जाते हैं and we focus on our core. Our core and our main objective is to give quality education. But in experimenting, we forget education and we try and do something different, and that is where we fail. And the last important thing is what happened in this industry in last 15, 18 years is the early starters who came in, they came up with franchise model. And when they came up with franchise model, they came up with fees ka revenue sharing, so the royalty model. So they want a higher fees so that they also get say 15%, 20% royalty. They push you but that 15-20% is your profit, which is eaten up by them. And as a franchisee, we end up working for the franchisor many a times. So these are couple of challenges that we felt, and we realized that these are important aspects. So I thought I'll be sharing with you. Well, now let's talk about the key indicators for running a profitable preschool. As I said in the previous slide, I'll share with you some parameters. So here are the parameters. These are thumb rules. Don't say that नहीं भाई ये आपने बोल दिया तो ये plus minus इसमें थोड़ा सा होगा. Remember, whenever you are hiring a premises, your monthly rental of that premises should not be more than annual fees of the student. This is thumb rule. Plus minus 10% is okay. But what happens many a times is we take up a premises of 1 lakh rupees and our fees is 25,000 rupees. Now what happens is 1 lakh rupees a month. That means 4 children's fees is required to pay the rent. And we have to get 48 admission only to pay the rent. And that is where we lose. So you have to balance it. This gets changed if you are going for a multiple stream, which I'll again come in the next slide. Also remember that your salaries of the teacher should be anything between 1/4 to 1/2 of the annual fees. So say for example, if the fees is, for the calculation purpose, I'm saying, if the fees is say 50,000 rupees, half is 25,000 and 1/4 is 12,500. So anything between 12,500 to 25,000 is the fees that you should look at, depending on what kind of experience the person has, what kind of qualification that person has, what all other qualities that the person has. Depending on that, a little bit fees salaries can vary and should vary. And the most important thing is hire staff which is from nearby area. Do not hire staff from outside or maybe 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers, and then you're giving transport and other things. So then you make up a lot of losses into it. Your salaries should not go beyond 40% of the revenue. So that is how you have to balance it. Okay. Your child teacher ratio should be anything between 1:15. Don't go for a center head for first 75 to 100 children is what I suggest. However, if you are already into business and this is your additional income, that is what you're looking at it, then maybe you can explore it. But exploring for less than 50 children will not make sense at all. It has to be a capacity of 75 to 100 plus other revenue stream. Then it really makes profit for you. In a small area or maybe village or a semi-urban area, 1,000 square feet is decent enough. However, if you are into an urban area, depending on what kind of a locality, what facilities and what services are we going to offer, anything between 1,500 to 3,000 square feet of construction and maybe some play area would definitely add a lot of value. आप उसमें क्या क्या फीचर्स देते हो उस हिसाब से आपके फीस बढ़ता है और लोकेलिटी को डिसाइड करके फीस बढ़ेगा इसमें. So these are couple of key indicators and thumb rule for us to decide how do we make it more successful. What are the earning potential? This is what probably the most important and the most interesting slide is. इसको थोड़ा curiosity से मैं बताऊंगा. If you have a single stream that is only preschool, I have just taken an example. 75 बच्चों का फीस है 25,000 रुपए, तो आपका टोटल रेवेन्यू हो जाता है 18 लाख रुपए. Okay, I'm just taking a round figure. I'm not going into details. So with the same calculation, पर बच्चे का फीस के हिसाब से तो 25,000 रुपए पर मंथ रेंट है, तो 3 लाख रुपीस आपका रेंट हो गया. I have considered not more than 40%, so I've considered 30% as your salaries, which is close to around 5,60,000. 15% has to go in marketing. ये नॉन निगोशिएबल है. यहाँ पे आपने कॉम्प्रोमाइज किया तो आप you've lost it. So you have to invest that much money. and miscellaneous around 1 lakh 2 lakh के आसपास. So your revenues are 18 lakhs, your expenses are 13 lakhs, what you make profit is around 5 lakh rupees. So to start a preschool, if you've invested 5 lakh rupees, the possibility is push for 75, and in the very first year you make your profits. Or you are at a break even, whatever you've invested. Now here I have considered that you have taken up a franchise, and the franchise kit cost is 3,750 to 5,750 depending on the classes. Ours is no royalty model, we just supply you the kits. When we supply you the kits, it gives you an advantage that you can always position yourself to the parents saying that these are the kits supplied by my school. So parents happily pay for that extra amount. That shouldn't matter too much to them. Okay, because any which ways they have to buy it. Dress खरीदना होगा, books खरीदना होगा. I'll share with you in the next slides कि हम क्या-क्या देते हैं. Now, just a little tweak in that, almost the same streams, the same model, but we've added 2 more revenue streams to it. That is, we've added daycare as well as activity. Now here what I've done is, single stream है तो 25,000 रुपए का ही रेंट का प्रीमाइसेस लिया, बट अभी मुझे बहुत क्लैरिटी है कि मैं डेकेयर और अदर एक्टिविटीज भी स्टार्ट करूंगा, तो इंस्टेड ऑफ 1500 आई हैव गॉन फॉर 2000 स्क्वायर फीट और 2500 स्क्वायर फीट की जगह, और यहाँ पे मेरे पास में रेंट मैंने बढ़ा दिया क्योंकि मैंने बड़ा जगह लिया है और मैं रेंट अलग भी बिजनेसेस करने वाला हूँ उसमें. So the rent here is 1.5, यानी 4.5 लाख रुपीस का रेंट हो गया. 1.5 लाख रुपए से हमने रेंट बढ़ा दिया साल. ये आप 2 तक भी जा सकते हो, यहाँ पे 2 पर किड भी गए तो भी चलता है. Salaries I have taken it to 40% because यहाँ पे डे केयर भी आ जाएगा. हो सकता है और इसमें 2-5% आप बढ़ा सकते हैं सैलरी भी, क्योंकि आपको हो सकता है डे केयर के लिए और स्टाफ लगे. Marketing again I have taken 15%. So just look at the marketing. It has almost doubled here because you've added 2 more revenue sources. Miscellaneous expenses भी almost double हो गए. So all put together, your expenses are now 20 lakh rupees. पहले वाले के revenue से भी ज्यादा हो गया. But your earning is also 30 lakh rupees और आपका profit सीधा double हो गया. So anything between 5 lakh to 15 lakh or 20 lakhs is quite possible depending on the location, area, where you are starting and how you are operating. But only thing is every decision has to be a wise decision. Emotional decision kahin pe nahi. Now, you can always think that I want to open my own preschool. I have shared with you all the details. You still want to have some more conversation. You have Savita Patil's number. I will also share with you my WhatsApp number as well as email ID. You can ask me the questions over there. I will help you out. If you want to start your own preschool with your own brand, we have no problem. But if you take a power franchisee, that's an added advantage to you. The simple reason is we do not have any royalty model. We do not charge you any royalty. आप वैसे भी books, bags, dress, बाकी सारे certificates, kits, medal, बहुत सारी चीजें आप वैसे भी खरीद के देने वाले हैं. So we provide you with that. With that, we also provide you with a lot of training program. We charge you for that a very small amount, which I'm sure it's actually a peanut for anybody, which I'll share with you. What are the advantages? If I open my own preschool, I have to do curriculum mapping, I have to identify curriculum, I have to hire a teacher, I have to procure a lot of material. मैं बहुत सारी चीजें उसके 50 चीजों में लग जाता हूँ. ओके, और फिर मैं अपना ब्रांड बनाने के लिए लग जाता हूँ. अगर आप किसी बहुत ही पॉपुलर ब्रांड के साथ में जाते हैं, so then there is a huge cost involved to it. Okay, so you have to wisely take a call, which is better, what you have to take. But the best part is when you come with MI, you can always become an authority. आप वो एरिया में एक अथॉरिटी बन जाते हो. बोलते हो कि हमारे पास में 500 साल के एक्सपीरियंस्ड लोगों का है. 500 साल का एक्सपीरियंस इन द सेंस जो हमारे पास में बैक एंड टीम है, उसका टोटल एक्सपीरियंस ऐड कर दो तो 500 इयर्स का प्री स्कूल का एजुकेशन एक्सपीरियंस मिलेगा. हम लोगों ने पिछले 12 साल से हजारों बच्चों के ऊपर उन्हें सिखाया है, तो हमें जो साइकोलॉजिकल अंडरस्टैंडिंग है और जो जो पेडागोगिकल अंडरस्टैंडिंग है वो बहुत अच्छी है. सो दैट वी आर एबल टू शेयर विद यू. पेरेंट्स का एक्सेप्टेंस बहुत अच्छा है. रॉयल्टी मॉडल नहीं है, तो फीस आप आपकी डिसाइड करेंगे. हम आपको हेल्प करेंगे, बट आप आपकी फीस डिसाइड करेंगे. वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू पुश यू कि आपको इतनी फीस देना है. पूरे साल में 35 ट्रेनिंग से ज्यादा होगी. एनीथिंग बिटवीन 35 to 45 ट्रेनिंग्स. अब जैसे टू नेम कपल ऑफ ट्रेनिंग्स, आप लोगों को शायद अलग अलग कौन से करिकुलम्स होते हैं. जैसे मॉन्टेसरी मेथड होता है, प्लेवे मेथड होता है, एमआई का मेथड होता है, मल्टीपल इंटेलिजेंस का. so there are regio elimia hai. So various methods are there. So we train on that. We help teachers understand classroom management. We help teachers go through the tantrum, how to handle tantrums of children. Phonics का training होगा उनका. उसके साथ साथ में उनको how to handle parents, how to handle their queries, objection handling. A lot of training happens when the teachers are newly joined. उनका induction होता है. From the sales and administrative training, we help the administrator to understand how to do marketing, how to convince a parent, how to counsel a parent if there is a complaint which is coming in, how to handle it. So a lot of training around it is given, and not that we give it only once, we give it 2-3 times in a year. Simultaneously, a lot of training are in a pre-recorded format in our learning management portal. So say for example, you are facing a challenge of a particular, say if a child is not able to understand certain concept, there could be a training program which is there. So your teacher can just go through it, view the training, maybe for 10, 15, 20 minutes, the training would be there. She'll understand the concept and come back in the classroom and train it the next day, or practice it in the next day. So a lot of training programs. We do a lot of audit so that what your teachers are doing, we are able to manage it. The best part is एक community form होती है. आपके जैसे 50 प्री स्कूल वाले होंगे, 100 प्री स्कूल वाले होंगे. You can discuss your challenges. Otherwise, what happens is, as on the right hand side bottom, it is written, entrepreneurship is a lonely journey. It is such a lonely journey that you get frustrated many times. बहुत बार ये लगता है कि मैंने क्यों start किया. But when there is peer, there is somebody who's at high who pushes you. आपको आपके challenges answer करने के लिए you have some people with whom you can talk. Otherwise, today try and go to the nearest preschool and ask him, मुझे preschool start करना है, मुझे help करोगे क्या? कोई आपको entertain नहीं करेगा. वो बोलेगा competition है बाबा, नहीं करो. What we provide you is एकदम daily, weekly, monthly, proper syllabus with competency mapping and evaluation. What happens is many times people करिकुलम आपको आप इंटरनेट पे देखोगे 50 करिकुलम मिल जाएंगे, डाउनलोड कर लो, एग्जीक्यूट करना चालू करो. बट आपको यही नहीं मालूम रहेगा कि वो करिकुलम कौन से मंथ में, किस सीक्वेंस में, कब चलाना है. और हो सकता है कि वो करिकुलम के पीछे उसका इवैल्यूएशन प्रोसेस कैसे रखना है, उसके ऊपर मैपिंग करके उसमें कंक्लूजन्स क्या निकालने हैं. एंड दैट इज वेयर आवर बिगेस्ट स्ट्रेंथ लाइज. We have developed a software which is completely monitored and competency mapping के साथ में वो evaluation का एक report card निकलता है. That really helps the children of the teacher of the next class how to handle the children of the previous class. We give you backend support, complete backend support from administration का अगर मैं बात करूं, लेटर हेड से लेके विजिटिंग कार्ड से लेके आपके मार्केटिंग के प्रिंट आउट से लेके सारा कुछ आपको मिल जाता है. पूरा ऑफिस सेटअप से स्कूल सेटअप का पूरा चीज मिल जाता है. When it comes to kit for the children, the kits right from book, bag, dress, certificate, badges, pen, pencil, rubber, sketch pen, drawing, all those, a big list is there. All those things come as a part of kit. Plus, we also give you an in-house library. The library, which is mapped with the curriculum and the activities, wherein children will work on those with those activities in the classroom. If you wish to send it home, you can send it home also for a day or two, and then children bring in. That becomes a very, very differentiating factor. And this really helped us in entire COVID period. Most of the preschools, either closed down or they were very struggling with the collections. Trust me, at our school, our collection was more than 95% of preschool because of the library concept, which was very, very unique. And that is the time we said that since preschools are shutting down, we have to figure out an option and let's reach out to the market. And that is where we decided to get into the market. Finally, end-to-end support, right from selection of staff to what should be the fees, is the premises ideal or no, or how to design the premises, which all places to market, what all things to do, all those concepts and other things we provide you as a franchisee. Now, what is your role is very, very important. You just have to focus on two things. And if you focus on these two things, we assure you your success will be there. Implement, monitor curriculum as per daily schedule. What we have given, just implement that. Ensure that your teachers are getting trained properly. They are attending the training program that we are giving. Your success, 50% of success is done. And remaining 50% is take a loudspeaker and be a cheerleader. Speak to everybody in your market, nearby areas. Because this is what it is, we are providing this. Because remember, without marketing, nothing works. आप लोगों को भी हमें यहाँ बुलाने के लिए we have to market. अगर हम सोचते कि हमें कुछ नहीं करना है, तो आप नहीं आते. So we had to market it. So similarly, we have to keep on marketing it. After 12 years also, we have to market. So marketing is something which you have to really focus on. These two things, if you work, back end, we will support you. We are very, very sure that any preschool can be and will make profit and be successful. That's it from my side. Anybody has got any question can put it in the chat box. Ask me questions and I'll answer. This is my WhatsApp number. You can note it down, as well as my email ID. Savita's number is already there. You can call up, speak to them. If at all there are any questions, I'll answer.